Hey guys, Yuliya here. So today we'll be working in our front garden and in Michael's hosta garden specifically. Now, Michael is not a huge gardener, but he likes to plant things occasionally, and recently he turned into a huge hosta collector. And I designated the spot for him in our front yard where he can plant all the hostas he wants. And it is a perfect spot for it. It is semi-shade to shade location under these two beautiful dogwood trees. Now, I felt that the area was missing something, and we found this beautiful pot in our local nursery and we bought it. It was on sale, and it does provide this gorgeous structure to this garden, but I think it's still missing something. So I am going to plant a boxwood that we have in our backyard in this pot because I wanted year-round interest in this garden, and boxwoods are great for year-round interest, for winter interest, and more importantly, they are deer resistant. You guys know we have lots of deer in our area, so any deer resistant plant is a winner in my book. Before I go and retrieve the boxwood from the backyard, I just wanted to show you the area in detail a little bit. Now, first of all, we have this beautiful Venus dogwood almost blooming. The bracts are still kind of lime in color, but they will turn pure white in a couple of days. And of course, here is the hosta collection. And I like it. It's beautiful. It has a lot of variation, but it definitely needed some finer texture. So I did find those royal ferns that I planted in one of my clients' gardens in one of the recent videos. So I'm planting 1, 2, and 3 in this garden. And of course, this beautiful pot here. And as you can see, I have a measuring tape here. It is 27 inches tall and 21 inches wide. And it is pretty narrow on the bottom here, but I think it's just the perfect scale for this space. Also, I will be filling it with this potting mix. This is a Miracle Grow that I just bought in Costco, and I probably need 3 bags. It really depends on how big the boxwood's root ball is. I do not use drainage in my pots. There have been a number of scientific papers written that you don't really need drainage in your pots. It actually harms the plants. But anyway, let's go retrieve the boxwood. So the boxwood I will be transplanting to the front currently resides in our flower garden, which we're actually going to convert back into the vegetable garden this year because I started way too many vegetables and there's not enough space in our current vegetable garden. But anyway, this boxwood has been in this pot for about last 3 years, and I am pretty sure it's really root bound at this point. It needs to come out. This pot is just really small for it. Now, this boxwood cultivar is called Green Mountain, and it does have that pyramidal shape. Now, after I take it out of this pot, hopefully will go well, I will trim it a little bit to reduce dehydration and transplant shock. And that's one of the things that you can do if you decide to transplant something. Now, about the time of the year where you can transplant things like that, this is probably the last week where I can do it before our heat sets in here in New Jersey. But so far we've actually had really mild weather, more on the cooler side, and I will give this boxwood a lot of water when I'll transplant it. So let me get in there and see what we got. I use a small shovel to separate the root ball from the wall of the container. I love this little shovel. I use it almost for everything. I kind of go around the pot to make sure all the roots are separated. I'm sorry if I'm making funny faces because it's kind of hard to get in there. You're probably going to have to do this a couple of times to make sure the root ball separates from the container. And obviously, the longer the plant has been sitting here, the harder it will be to get out. All right, let's try to take it out. Come on. You're going to a better place now, okay? Bigger quarters. See, the roots are all over here. Now, I am handling it by the trunk, which is fine. Boxwoods are very sturdy plants. Definitely check with your plant if you can handle it, rough handle it. Come on, we can do this. Let's go. Okay. Yes. Look at this beauty. I had to shave off some of the roots, but I will make up for it with pruning this beautiful shrub just a bit. All right, guys, so the boxwood is here and I gave it a little haircut. This is not a cosmetic grooming. It is more of a functional because I don't want this boxwood to lose a lot of water. So I cut off most of the new growth here. Again, it probably looks like poor grooming job on my dog, but again, this is all functional. I will do the cosmetic trimming later in the season. Anyway, I am going to fill this pot with soil now and plant this boxwood. Oh, what a perfection. Oh. You guys, the boxwood is planted and I love it. The scale is perfect. It's almost like a mirror image. It's something I had in my mind for so long that I needed something here, and this is just perfection. Oh my God, I just love when you envision something and it turns out just the way you like it. So there are a couple of things that I forgot to mention is that this pot is frost proof, and it is very important in my zone 6, where we experience freeze and thaw cycles, that your pots, outdoor containers are frost proof. Make sure the drainage holes are clear and unplugged. The drainage holes on this container are actually coming out from the sides instead of the bottom. If I had it coming out from the bottom, I would probably put it on some sort of support with feet, so the drainage is okay in the pot, because that's also very important. Even if you have a frost-proof container, it can still pop if your pot is clogged in the winter. But I love this. This boxwood will stay here for another couple of years, maybe even 5 years. I've had boxwoods in my garden for 11 years with no problems. And all winter interest, all season interest, I love it. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you learned something new. If you have any questions, let me know. If you're new here, consider subscribing. I would love to stay in touch with you. And as per usual, I'll see you next time. Thanks, bye. Is it running?
Right there. Yes.
Is it still rolling? Is it still rolling? Can you see the pot?
Yeah.
Okay, totally screwed up the end. quiet over here. All right, guys. Anyway, this it's not boxwood. Boxwood.